Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this other show, which is not powered by Fiscal AI. I'm here with the great and powerful Stephen Fiorillo, who is able to join me late tonight. Stephen, what are we about to talk about?
I don't know, but why is it so late, Tanner?
Well, I mean, you scheduled it to be really late. You
Don't
said,
do that. Don't do that.
were you in here whenever it turned 9:30? Were you in?
Oh, I was. Now, what is the reason that it is 9:30?
Well, I saw your text come in at 9:03 because we had it scheduled for 9 o'clock.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're clear on this.
And I was sitting there watching the Charlie Sheen documentary thing. So,
Right. And what was your response to mine?
my bad.
Your response is that you forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was caught up, and I was like, oh, okay, I gotta let's do 30 minutes from now. I can pause. So
Okay.
I'm paused in the middle of the Charlie Sheen 2-episode documentary. And yeah, here to talk some stock.
Here to talk some stock.
Bro, what have you been dabbling in? Let's hear it. Let's just jump right in.
A little bit of everything. I feel like you want to talk about 3 letters that are on your hat.
I do. I think that I'm going to be buying more whenever the week opens. You know, a 15% gain in a single day is great, but I don't think anyone was saying, hey, you know what, the price target that we're looking for is 55. I continuously heard a bunch of $80, $100, $200. So I think there's potentially more to go. And is that something that you do? So first of all, we're talking about BMNR. Is this something that we do? If a stock runs up 15% in a day, do you pause your purchases?
Say that one more time. You cut out.
If BMNR goes up 15% in a single day, which it did, do you pause your purchases or do you continue those purchases for a name like BMNR?
I mean, I think it depends on everything is different, so it depends on the scenario. With this, I don't have a full position in it yet, so I still need to buy. So maybe I don't know. I'm still buying. That's the only thing I can say. I'm still buying. So if I have to buy it here, I have to buy it here. If I wait a couple of days to see if it comes down. But in all seriousness, I think my strategy would be I'm probably going to buy more before Wednesday, just in case, because who knows if the market's going to go up or down after the Fed cuts. So I can't predict what's going to happen. So,
do you buy BMNR to hedge the market?
No, I'm buying because I think it's going to be significantly higher in a year or two from now.
Got you. BMNR is one of the weirdest names because if it does catch a premium, then they're going to be able to acquire more Ethereum. So is it better to buy whenever it's cheap or better to buy whenever it's expensive, if that makes sense?
Well, I mean, it's always better to buy when it's cheap because you get more of it. But I look at it, I'm looking at this as the S&P. Just if you just keep buying and you cost average in, you're going to be okay, because I certainly can't predict what the bottom is. And with the amount of research that I've done on this, I really do think Ethereum is going to be higher, significantly higher, which would mean BMNR is going to be significantly higher in the future. And they're able to do things that I can't do on my own. Owning Ethereum directly, that's going to be accretive to all shareholders. And I do think Ethereum is going to end up becoming deflationary.
The only reason why I said obviously it's better to buy stocks that are cheap, but if, like, I'm still wrapping my head around BMNR. So if it's under MNAV, for example, would it actually mean that the Treasury can't perform like it usually could, meaning potentially selling off equity to buy more Ethereum? Like, how does it work if it's actually being undersold? Like, unlike companies that can continue to run normally, this actually potentially underperforms if it's cheap.
Right. But that doesn't mean that they can't keep doing offerings and buying more. So you're just paying under what the fair market value of their balance sheet is in that scenario. So it's, to me, it's all good.
But if there's a premium on the stock, then they can acquire Ethereum faster.
I think they can acquire Ethereum no matter what happens, if it's plus or minus NAV.
Through what instruments are they also doing it in?
Well, if they end up issuing shares or doing equity offerings, I mean, they don't have to trade at a premium to do an equity offering.
Yeah, but who would want them to sell like equity that's worth less than the Ethereum to buy Ethereum?
All I'm saying is that they could do it both ways. Not saying they will.
Yeah.
So if they feel that Ethereum is undervalued and it's still trading at under NAV, and they do an offering to buy more Ethereum, and then if Ethereum is up 20% over the next year, it's no longer dilutive, it's accretive.
Yeah, but if the MNAV is below 1 times, that means your equity is worth more than the Ethereum.
Correct.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a tricky little system where honestly the cult has to continue to believe.
I wouldn't look at it in that sense. I would look at it as Ethereum. I don't know where it's at. Let's just say it's at 4,700 right now. Let's just say there's a discount on the equity on the balance sheet, even if it's not the best time. But they believe that Ethereum is going to go up. They could issue more. They could go buy more. And if a year from now Ethereum's at 12,000, it's not going to matter because whatever dilution you have is now gigantically accredited to everybody. So it's not going to matter. Well, you just need Ethereum to keep going up.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. So
I'm not getting in the weeds on that and tracking when they issue, when they don't issue. I don't really care about that because I do believe Ethereum is going to be way higher. Because look, I was on the fence about a lot of these until the Genius Act. And when you really read the Genius Act and you see what that means for stablecoins, then you have to start looking at who's building on the Ethereum layer 2. And we know for a fact MasterCard, we know for a fact Shopify, and we know for a fact PayPal have all built their stablecoins on Ethereum layer 2. I do not know Visa. I do not know American Express. But those three I do know. And we know Circle's stablecoin is on layer 2. So if this does become a bridge, and if this sees increased utilization over the next 2 years, each transaction is going to burn off a little bit of ETH. No matter how small it is, it's still going to get burnt off. ETH has a maximum of 1.15% issuance. There is a world where there is more than that being burnt off a year, and this becomes deflationary, especially since right now the net being issued is 0.09%. So I'm really excited.
I think if I remember correctly, ETH right now, and this can change, but ETH is burning off more or has a slower inflation rate than Bitcoin based on their issuances right now.
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, so I can't say yes or no.
I'm trying to find the chart that I saw.
I haven't read that.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to find that, but I could be wrong. I could be. I'm not going to die on that hill. It
doesn't matter to me because Bitcoin has no utility, so I don't really care anything about Bitcoin.
Yeah. Just talking about as a store of value in its like for its own right, but for cross-border payments. So you've been going crazy on all these podcasts and everything, trying to learn as much about Ethereum.
I mean, I've listened to a lot of the Bankless podcasts, and I'll say it again. I think it's the best podcast about Ethereum, and those guys are absolutely great, and I love it. And I have listened to a lot of their stuff, and they are really top-notch.
We are, at least the high majority of people understand the payments part.
Right.
What other things do you think are very exciting? The tokenizing of equity?
Tokenization is going to be huge. It's going to be bigger than what I thought it was going to be. And I'm not fully on the camp that you went down, but I'm 50% of the way there, because when I listened to the second interview of Kevin O'Leary that was not on CNBC, that was on his private Instagram, he straight up started talking about building an index or several indexes, tokenizing rare cars, tokenizing all different types of assets. And then when you start hearing Vlad talk about tokenization of real estate, I don't think everything's going to be tokenized. And I certainly don't think you're going to have lower end sports cards or collectibles being tokenized. But I think the big things will be tokenized. I think there will be investable indexes that can only be done on the blockchain through smart contracts through the Ethereum layer 2. And I think that that's going to be huge over the next couple of years.
Yeah, yeah. And then is there any other aspect past those, or is that enough to talk in?
No, I mean, right now, that's really where I'm at with this.
Yeah.
And those are the two big things. I don't need a third thing. I think that those two are going to be absolutely huge because I don't think the smart contract aspect is going to roll over into businesses because I don't think businesses are going to move past the net 30 terms. And because in order to use a smart contract, if I understand it correctly, and it's been a while since I looked into this aspect, but you have to lock up a portion of the equity in advance and escrow for the smart contract to work. If not the whole, I'd have to reread it. It's been years since I actually went down that rabbit hole. But I just think when you're on net 30 terms, you're not locking anything up because you don't have to. You already have net 30 terms or net 45 or net 90 or 60, whatever you end up negotiating with your suppliers. So I don't know that it's going to bleed over into corporate, but I do think tokenization of real world assets and stable coins is going to be enough to make it a deflationary asset.
Quick question here. Is it dumb to sell my ETH to buy BMNR? It would be in a TFSA, which is a tax-free savings account where you can, which I don't know how you bought ETH in it. There must have been some sort of vehicle or ETF. But leave that part out. What about selling ETH to buy BMNR?
I mean, I can't say that what I would do or what I wouldn't do for that person. All I can tell you is I own it directly and I own the trust. So I'm doing it both ways for my own personal reasons. And if you look at Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, yeah, over the recent year or two, MicroStrategy's outperformed. I don't know what's going to outperform, so I want exposure to both.
And particularly for you and a lot of other New Yorkers, I think is it Wisconsin? There's a
New
couple
York, California, and a couple other states. Jersey cannot stake.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So for that, that's just an extra bit of yield that you can't end up making.
Correct.
Can I ask you, just as a percentage, what do you own more, ETH or the treasuries? I assume it's the treasuries.
Treasuries, I'm in 3 of them.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more. I mean, it's probably 60-40 at this point. It'll end up being around 50-50 probably. I mean, I can't guarantee that, but it'll probably be around 50-50.
And how do you think of the other treasury? How do they even differ?
Well, SBET, I'm in SBET, I'm in the BMNR, and I am in Ether Machine. Here's the big thing. Everybody's only looking at BMNR because of Tom Lane. Whether that's right or not right, beyond me. The reason I'm in 3 of them is because I don't know who's going to do the best staking, because it's not just traditional staking. You can stake directly, you can restake, and then you can also restake through DeFi. And I'm going to need a couple of earnings calls and really have to go through everything to see who I think is doing the best at it and look at how much ETH they're able to add to the balance sheet as a percentage of what their holdings are to see who is actually doing the best. And since I don't know who's going to do the best, I want exposure to all 3.
But it does, interestingly, it is a little bit of a popularity contest.
Oh, of course it's a popularity contest.
Because the one that gets the premium can accelerate how fast they acquire Ethereum.
Right. Like I said, I have the most in BMNR out of the 3, but I am buying the others for a specific reason also.
Yeah, yeah. I was buying SBET because I couldn't figure out the difference between them and I didn't want to pay the premium, but it's actually interestingly one that, like, having more liquidity allows more institutions to feel like they can get in and out of trades. They can acquire more Ethereum at faster rates. And there's also a lot of talk about how fast they're acquiring Ethereum. Like, I don't know if I personally can acquire Ethereum as fast as BMNR is doing it on my behalf.
How about this? You can't.
That's what it looks like. And I actually don't understand how they're doing it so fast while not increasing the total share count as fast. Like, I feel like they're adding Ethereum very, very quickly.
Yeah, and look, let's remember something. They are in a position where through staking, through the restaking, through staking, through DeFi, they're able to add liquidity to the balance sheet that's getting rolled back into Ethereum. It's becoming immediately accredited to the shareholders, and they're adding ETH through it. So your ETH per share is increasing through it. It's net income for free. It's freaking great. And if they can get up to 5 or 6%, and if Tom Lee can actually get 5% of the total Ethereum, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting to see where this actually goes.
Yeah, yeah. As a percentage of cryptocurrency to the rest of your portfolio, how much are you giving to this asset class?
It will be my biggest holding.
No, I mean, like, versus equities, versus real
equity.
estate.
Oh, I thought you meant versus the other crypto I have.
Yeah. But like,
versus the other crypto, it will be my biggest holding. Versus equities, it's not going to be anywhere close.
I see some comments, people saying, you know, ETH makes up 100% of their portfolio, 100% BMNR, 40% in crypto. For me, I don't know how easily I want just BMNR or just the treasuries to get above 10%.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night with 100% of my portfolio being in anything.
What is the cap that you would put on an individual position?
I mean, I don't really have
You have like 4,000 positions.
Yeah, but some of them are. Look, I own a lot of positions, but a lot of them are bullshit positions. Like a lot. Like I got stuff that I own that isn't even $100 just because I have it. Look, that dividend series article that I wrote in Seeking Alpha has 105 individual positions, and I think the smallest position in there has 20 or $30, and the biggest position's like 1,400 or 1,500. So I have a lot of small positions. So, but regular positions, I mean, I really have to like sit down and do the math, but I don't think I have anything that's more than 15 or 20% of the portfolio. Probably close to the 10%.
And how fast did
now
NVIDIA
I'm
climb
also
up?
not. When I say that, I am not including retirement accounts. I'm talking about straight taxable accounts, like whatever is in a taxable account.
I think everyone knows what's in your retirement account.
It's just S&P.
Yeah.
That's it. 100% S&P is in mine. So that's actually technically not true because I don't consider my IRA as a retirement account because I can tap it and take a 10% hit. But in my work sponsored 401 that I contribute to, it's 100% S&P, and I don't include that in anything.
Where does NVIDIA fall into some of your larger holdings?
I'd have to really sit down and do the math. I actually wouldn't be able to tell you what all my positions total right now.
So it's not your biggest position?
No.
Is it Amazon? What Microsoft?
I actually don't know what my biggest position is. I'm not avoiding the question. It could be Palantir.
That means that there's a lot of companies that have similar.
Yeah, I mean, look,
values.
I have several accounts I'd have to go through and look. It could be Meta. It could be Palantir. I don't know.
Is this what it's like to be like part of the ultra wealthy? Like
No,
I don't even know what I got.
I'm not part of the ultra wealthy, but I have accounts that I don't really look at that often.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
No, seriously. I look, my wife has dedicated accounts. I have dedicated accounts, and we have joint accounts. I don't really look in her accounts, maybe once a year. So I really don't know where things have gone to. So,
what are you thinking about NVIDIA right now?
It's a screaming deal, in my opinion. Screaming. Like
you changed your wording there.
Yeah, I was about to say something I shouldn't have. But it's screaming deal.
Yeah. That's super funny. What do you think about the China deals right now, or is that fully going through? You think we're going to see China revenue that's not baked into guidance in next quarter?
I think there's a chance. That's not something that I'm really getting concerned with. I am really in the camp that this is going to 225 or 250 next year, if not higher. I mean,
next year, December?
I mean, sometime next year, if
Okay.
not higher. I mean, did you read my article I put out on Friday?
I have not, no.
Okay. Do you mind if I bring up some charts?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, you will love them. You'll legitimately love them. So hang on.
I can bring it up. I have it here.
If you want to bring it up and share, that'd be great. If you could drop a link and I'll respond to everybody who leaves a comment, happy to.
Yeah.
But look, you were right and I was wrong, and I will forever give you credit for that. I won't shy away from that. You tried convincing me, and I should have listened to you, but I didn't see the vision back in 2023 because it wasn't growing and the chat GPT moment did not happen. Okay. I have never seen a company grow at this rate, at this velocity. So you can bring up a Palantir and you can bring up other companies. Sure, they have a higher year-over-year growth rate right now, but they're not growing their revenue by $60 billion in a year. So when I look at what they did from 23 to 24, and then 24 to 25, and then where we are after 2 new quarters, I've never seen this type of velocity ever from a company. It doesn't seem like it's slowing down. I'm going to do this from memory because I don't want to pull up the article and cite the numbers. So give me a little bit of rope. Go to the next one.
Sorry. This one?
Yeah. When I look at the quarter over quarter growth, it's incredible because it's actually accelerating. I believe that it was something like a 16% year over year growth last year, Q1 to Q2. Now it's like 22% on profitability. And their profitability margin is now 56.5% in Q2 for net income. I mean, that's insane for any company, let alone a hardware company. And right now, they're on a trajectory where they're going to do over $100 billion in profit this year if they keep this up. And when you look at their margins, if they come anywhere close to the current margins, and they're estimating that they're going to have $54 billion of revenue in Q3, that puts them at $30 billion of net income in Q3. So I think that the EPS numbers are actually short on the analyst side. Go to the next slide.
You sound like Michael Batnick from
Compound. Listen, I'll take that any day. Batnick's freaking great.
Next slide.
So yeah, next slide. So when I look at the forward EPS, and keep in mind, these have all increased throughout the year on the 2025 numbers, but NVIDIA is expected to do 67% EPS growth over the next 2 years. You're getting it for less than 24 times 2027 earnings, and no other company except for Tesla, and I don't even know if I believe the Tesla numbers, has this type of growth. So it's a screaming deal. Now, go to the next one. This is the important slide. I think it's the CapEx slides next.
Just really quick. Tesla has changed its share price quite a lot recently, so these numbers are a little bit outdated. This is $400 stock.
I redid. Well, that slide's from Thursday, so I did that Thursday night. So you should. Tesla went up a little bit, but I mean, no, you don't. Not that one. The next slide I did, that one. So CapEx is actually accelerating too from the big four, because in March or Q1 2024 to Q2, you had an $8 billion or a $7.5 billion increase, and Q1 to Q2 2025, you have about a $16 billion increase. Spending is significantly increasing, and Jensen said on the conference call that he believes that these four companies will spend $600 billion in CapEx in 2 years from now.
But that's so here's the funny thing. Yes, maybe those companies are going to spend 600 billion, but Microsoft just gave 17 billion dollars to Nebius to make sure that they can also set up compute power so then they could tap them for their data centers.
Right, because it's not enough. They're not able to build quickly enough. They have to go into other verticals. And when you look at CoreWeave that I put in the article, their billings or their backlog of bit revenue grew 82% year over year in Q2. And then you have Oracle that is now expanding their CapEx to 37 billion next year. So this train's not stopping anytime soon.
If you could pick, like, I'm going to give you two basket of companies. Okay, you tell me which one does better over the next 3 years. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Oracle. Okay, probably the four biggest hyperscalers.
Microsoft,
the four
Oracle.
biggest. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Oracle.
Well, Oracle's not bigger than Meta.
No, but in terms of their, well, you're right, but I meant more for setting up tokens to sell to other businesses. Meta's not doing that. They're not setting
Meta's
up their
not
own.
doing that, but they're spending more on CapEx than Oracle.
Versus
Okay.
IREN, CoreWeave, Nebius,
Don't even.
TeraWulf.
I don't care about those companies.
You don't pay attention to them.
I don't own them. I don't pay attention to them. They could be. It's just too many variables for me to even try to understand. I don't want to even think about it.
Got you. Now,
it's a lot of variables. You know that.
Of course. No. I'm not. I'm just picking your brain. I'm not making any judgments here.
Yeah, but look, you know that I don't really follow that stuff.
I want to show you a chart here. This is Fiscal AI.
Your favorite company.
Hey, you like it too.
I will admit it's pretty freaking cool.
Okay. This is Oracle. This is the remaining performance obligations. What did we just see, bro?
Yeah, we just saw it go off the freaking charts is what we saw. How about that?
I know, but you just showed off the top four companies and their amount of spend, and you didn't include the company that just exploded.
Right, because it's not spending more than other companies right now.
I know, but you get a couple more quarters like this, $300 billion OpenAI deals.
I'll have to add more companies to my chart.
You know?
Absolutely.
And all of that goes back to the NVIDIAs. Now, that's another one. Are you taking any look at Broadcom?
Broadcom is an amazing company. So not really. I don't have the time or the bandwidth for some of that stuff, but it's such an amazing company.
I'm getting really interested in that one. It might. I'm not going to do this, guys. I'm not like, I'll let you know if I end up doing this, but I have thought about trimming NVIDIA to buy Broadcom to keep the AI and semi names.
Big statement from you.
Yeah.
It's a big statement.
I mean, if they are taking market share, if they just landed another major customer, which I don't know who it is. I think there was some suspicions that could be Oracle as well. Like, what's happening here? You know?
I mean, I'm just not worried about it.
No, I'm not worried about it either. I want to benefit. It's a free market. I get to buy both.
Well, I get that, but is Broadcom going up more than NVIDIA over the next year? I can't say that. I can't say that I think it's going to. So I would rather be in NVIDIA. That's just me.
Yeah. I
look at NVIDIA's roadmap and I look at the dilemma all these other companies are in. They're all in a prisoner's dilemma. They can't stop buying. Like I think NVIDIA is the one. I really do.
Do you think that this is a two-part question? Do you think that energy? So okay, I'm just giving a leading. I'll just give you my opinion. I don't even need to ask this question.
Sure.
I think that the fact that energy is a bottleneck is actually to NVIDIA's benefit, and it forces the large hyperscalers to purchase the best chip on a performance per watt basis, because they need to maximize their output for the amount of energy that they can, obtain. That being said, do you also see if energy is the bottleneck as being another way to play the AI market?
You buy it for the dividend. Companies like Exxon and Chevron are great companies, and I think they're undervalued, but you're not, I don't think you're going to get the appreciation in those companies the way you're going to get in NVIDIA. So why try to go indirect that way? Sure, utility companies have run, they've had a great year. I'm in Southern Company and some other things, but strictly a dividend play. It's not for the appreciation. Like, you're going to get more out of NVIDIA most likely.
Maybe that's the case now, but you don't think, like, I don't know, NVIDIA was
No,
not.
I think the money is in transporting, not upstream production.
Got you.
We can go more into that at a different time. I'm not done building out those positions yet. And not that I'm done with NVIDIA, but I'm not even close. At least I'm close with NVIDIA.
What, in like
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I could take guesses, no?
Sure.
You're talking about like Enbridge and what's that other one?
I'll talk about that all day. I'm talking about a different type. So
Got you.
yeah.
Got you. Matt, the amazing oil czar in chat is here.
He is the oil czar.
Sorry?
He is the oil czar.
He is the oil czar. Not enough people call him the oil czar these days.
He is.
Yeah, and Energy Transfer. That was the other one that I was trying to think of.
Love Energy Transfer.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite companies.
Did you see any of the Hood event? Is Hood going to kill SoFi?
No, I don't care about Hood. I actually don't think that it's good that they're going to allow shorting so easily. I'm actually worried about their clientele, and I haven't looked into it. But if it is as easy as everything else on their app, I am very worried that people are going to blow themselves up with this.
I used you as an example whenever talking to management. I was sitting there talking. I said, I've got a very affluent friend, and he thinks Robinhood's for kiddie investors, but he uses the crypto thing. And Johan was quite happy to hear that.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, but
did you say because it's cheaper?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. But all of their products are cheaper.
Okay. I'm just saying, I have two options, that and freaking Coinbase, and I will use whatever is cheaper, and Robinhood's significantly cheaper.
Of course. Yeah. No, you're right,
I'm cheap. Listen, I'm cheap. If I have options on how to buy something and you got something that's 90% less on the cost, I'm going to use that option. If it's secure, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. What about SoFi? We're going into rate cuts. Potentially. I don't know. Can I get your opinion? Do we get a rate cut?
We're getting a rate cut.
Are we getting 2 rate cuts?
When? On Wednesday?
In September. Yeah.
I would like to see a 50 basis point cut. We're not going to get it, though. I think we're only going to get 25. I think if we get 50, the market's going to tank, because I think they're going to form a narrative that they had it cut by so much because unemployment's going up, something's wrong, and it'll just go out of control. I only want, as much as I want more, because I think they're behind the 8 ball, I'm worried that if they do more off the bat, it's going to spook the market. So I really only want 25 bips.
So are you thinking consistent 25 cuts or 25 basis point cuts?
I'd like to see that through the end of the year and get 75 basis points off. Look, it's no secret. I want rates at 3%. I want them at 300 bips. I don't think you need to go lower. I think at 300 bips, you create a market where everybody makes money. And it's a fair price you pay to borrow money. The banks make money. You unlock the housing industry. And look, some people still at 3% will not refi because there's no need to. They already refied at 3%. So being able to refi at 4.5%. I know it moves off the 10-year. Well, guess what? When they cut rates, 10-year moves also, not just the 30-year. So I hate that freaking argument because most people take a 30-year mortgage out. That's why I use the 30-year. But when it comes down to it, if the Fed effective rate is 3%, most likely the 30-year is going to be 4.5 to 5%. You're going to get people that aren't going to refi, but people won't be as scared to purchase new homes at that point if they want to. Before now, there's a lot less of a reason when you take a mortgage out at 7%, unless you're saying to yourself, I'm going to take the mortgage out now. I'm going to sit there for 2 or 3 years and then play the refi game because I'm probably going to be able to chop 2.5% off and I'll be in a much better position. I'll get more house for my money because houses may go up when they cut rates. So you can play that game. But I think 3% is the number I want to really say.
Now, what if we see an environment where job losses continue to come in, revising old data lower?
Good.
And maybe AI really is swallowing up some jobs here.
It is.
How do you protect your portfolio? What stocks are untouchable? What do you sell off if we start to get below 3%?
Look, my biggest fear right now with the market, and that is that we are in a position where we see unemployment go to an unmanageable number.
Yeah.
And it's already crept up 0.9% since the recent lows. Every time it's gone up by a full percentage point, we've either been at the start of a recession or recession just started right after it. I'm very worried about that happening. And I am worried that people are not taking AI seriously enough. And I've said it once, I've said it twice, and I'll continue to say it. For the next 5 to 10 years, I do believe that the amount of job loss from AI and robotics is going to be very big. And I don't think the creation of new jobs because of AI is going to replace it. And I hate the argument that the internet, yeah, the internet created a whole ton of jobs, but the internet didn't create a scenario where your jobs were lost. That's the biggest difference. It made everything more effective. There is a very big contingent now of people that drive for a living, whether it's oil tankers, whether it's 18-wheelers, whether it's livery, whether it's postal service, whether it's Amazon. When 5 to 10 years happens, there's going to be a large percentage of those people that may not be working in that industry anymore. What do all those people do? And then as AI gets better, we've already seen it with Meta. We've seen it with big tech that coders are now getting let go because a lot of the low-end coders is replaced by AI. Zuck's been pretty open about what he sees for middle and high-end coders over the next 5 years. So the whole learn to code, I don't know that you're going to be able to create enough companies, enough apps to redeploy all these people. So what do? I just don't think that we're talking enough about this, and I do not know where that ends, and it makes me worried about where we go from here in the job market. So I don't know. People way smarter than me need to figure this out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there definitely was a shift during the internet. People did lose their job because they were working in physical stores that were getting closed down. Certain malls and stuff like this, like retail locations were getting closed to bigger.
Have you seen Simon Property Group? They have like a 98% freaking rental rate.
I'm not stating that, but if you're suggesting that small businesses did not go under because of the likes of Amazon and eBay and all those things, that's not true.
What I'm suggesting is some small businesses have always been impacted, whether it's before the internet from Walmart or Home Depot coming in that put smaller hardware stores out of business. The big conglomerates have always impacted things. But keep in mind, the internet didn't make necessarily smaller businesses go under. It actually opened up a market for them to now be able to reach people that weren't within a 15-mile radius. So it just made a different playing field for companies that were better at business to compete and do better. Now, AI
do you think that allows AI to open up an entire world for entrepreneurship where a single person might be able to run $1 billion business?
Maybe it does. I don't know. I mean, right now, I don't think it's going to, but I could be 100% wrong on that. I just don't know that everybody's going to be able to utilize AI to create businesses. I mean, how many applications do you really need to pay for? How many applications do you really need to use? I mean, how many more products can we build? I don't know. I'm just worried because a lot of the people that are employed in coding and that type of stuff, and then also in financial services and HR services and that type of stuff, what happens when these larger HRIS systems and ERP systems streamline things even more? So I don't know.
By the way, SoFi in the after hours,
Yeah.
Or what's
Oh, that was
essentially
the original question. I think SoFi is going to go significantly higher. The rate cuts are going to be very good for them.
I think the market's pricing that in. At one point tonight in overnight markets, SoFi was trading at nearly $27 a share.
Wow.
Up 1% right now to 26.81, the highest we've seen in the last year, and the highest close. Well, we just saw the highest close here on Friday, but 26.85 most recently. And the absolute all-time high, which was an intraday spike, was 28.26 back whenever it was IPOE. So very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Open door shooting up in aftermarket hours or overnight hours. Rocket companies up 2.8%. Lemonade's up 2%. Lending Club's up 3%. They're another big lender. D Local up 4%, 4.7%. I just announced that I bought this one earlier today. So going to be creating a position in D Local, and happy to buy at 14 as well. But yeah, anything you're interested in starting a new company? What have you been looking into recently?
No, you know what I'm looking into. It's just BMNR and ETH right now. I don't have any other great ideas. I mean, look, NVDA is still, I think, really good, but I don't know. There's nothing else I'm really dying to start a new position in at the moment.
What the heck is going on with Alibaba right now?
I mean, I think Alibaba should be much higher than it is, but I've been wrong on that.
Well, I mean, it's skyrocketing right now.
Is it really?
We're up 3.6%, 170 or $160 a share.
Yeah, it should be way higher than that.
All right.
Just my opinion. I think it should be higher than that. That's all.
Did I say Duolingo again? I've been trying to say D-Local, and I've been saying Duolingo.
Okay.
Do you think that stuff like this plays into any part? Like, what did you think about the Orbs 8Co thing from BMNR? What do you think about Cathie Wood essentially buying every single dip? Like, does this play into your thesis at all that they're also,
I don't
starting to
know
get
enough about it. I just don't like Duolingo.
I'm talking about BMNR.
Oh, I don't really know what it means for it with her, so I don't know.
What do you think about Duolingo?
You know my position on it. You're in the group chat. I don't think it's not for me.
You said it's not for you, but then you started to text. I think you called me and you said, "Hey, what are we doing?" Like, so there was something that flipped in your head where you said, "Okay, there might be opportunity."
The numbers look good. I'm not saying the numbers don't look good or they don't look interesting. I don't believe they can put up the growth that the analysts think they can put up. I just don't think that there's a real use case when you have these translation services that are going to be built into the headphones. I think it's going to be less than what people think.
It's amazing to have grown this friendship with Steve because I get to see all his quirks and everything. And if you say anything that he disagrees with, he goes, "You did not just say that. Take that back. You did not just say it." It's vile for you to disagree with him. But then whenever he starts to agree with something you say, he won't admit it. He'll just call and go, "Okay, what are we doing?" Like, and then he's really interested in something. He's starting to look into it. He goes, "Okay, so like, let me know. What's the play here?" I love it.
Yeah, I just don't listen to the plays.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm happy you listened to a few of them.
Listen, I changed my mind on NVIDIA because I'm willing to change my mind if the data supports it. And I think I changed my mind pretty quick once the data supported it, and I really got on the bandwagon hard.
Do you think the data is supporting SoFi? Or what has changed the thesis from it going from like 11 to 26, 27 where it's sitting now?
I don't think you really want that answer.
Is it just rate cuts?
I'm a little shocked at where it is, to be
You,
very honest. I'm a
you
little
think
shocked.
it's overvalued?
I think there's things that are very undervalued in the market, and I think there are things that are overvalued in the market. And I, with as much SoFi as I have, it wouldn't be good for me to say it, but I'm just gonna say I'm a little surprised of where it is right now.
It's almost like it isn't a bank.
I mean, I'm a little surprised at where Robinhood is. I'm a little surprised at where Palantir is. I'm a little surprised at where Cloudflare has gone to. I'm a little surprised at how cheap Salesforce is. I'm a little surprised at how cheap Alphabet still is. I mean, there are things that are cheap and there are things that are crazy multiples. SoFi is not a crazy multiple. I'm sorry. Palantir at 120 times sales. Like, what are we doing?
I
Like, what are we doing?
on my way home from Vegas, I sat beside this guy that was he worked for ServiceNow.
Yep.
But previously worked at Salesforce. So
Okay.
I was asking him about his, thoughts and everything. And he was like, yeah, no, Salesforce is absolute dog crap. Like they're going to die. Agentforce is fake.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, Agentforce is fake. It's a big scam, everything like this. And he's like, ServiceNow, A1. And then I asked him, I said, well, what do you think about like Palantir, And he said, isn't that a surveillance company? And I was like, oh, doesn't even know that they're potentially wanting to build products that might lean into that space at all.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know. Look, Palantir, I love this company. I'm always going to be a shareholder one way or another. I think the valuation is very rich here. I think it's crazy to say that it's undervalued here. Can it grow into this? Absolutely. It does not have to come down. But the valuation is very rich. I think that Salesforce is a huge opportunity. I really do. I believe I have an article coming out tomorrow about it. The numbers are really compelling. And when you go through the earnings call and you go through everything that they're doing, it's so compelling.
I tweeted out just before we went live, but you tell me what you think about this chart here. You tell me which company this is on a P ratio.
On a PE, it's Tesla.
And if we were to look at a forward PE, the crazy thing is it barely looks any different.
I don't even need to research it. If it's the Mag 7, there's only one outlier, and it's fucking Tesla. And it's stupid. The valuation is stupid because nothing's proven with Robotaxi and nothing is proven with Optimus. It is the most ridiculous valuation there is. Their numbers are lower. The market's giving it too much respect, in my opinion.
So I asked everyone, I said, how are people buying it here? I just want to learn. And people said, there was either two things. Either you'll see and I'm dumb for asking, or two, that, the shareholders are not pricing in today, they're pricing in the future. I'm like, yeah, that's what every investor's doing for every growth.
Ever.
Yeah, like that's why people are giving Google a premium or Meta or Amazon,
Right.
but that's shown in the numbers, it being 30x like earnings, not 230 times.
Yeah, look, I think it's a problem. It's getting a lot of respect. Not saying it shouldn't get some respect, but they're pricing in so much forward growth that you don't know if it's going to hit it or not. I can't make sense of it. But just because I can't make sense of it doesn't mean that it's not warranted.
No, that's true. 100%.
It's just
So
me. I'm just saying that that's where I'm at with it.
do you think Elon's going to get that pay package? I mean, obviously he has the options. Do you think he actually succeeds in the goal?
When I look at the math, I don't see how he succeeds in the goal. Just think about it. Okay, the last thing that they talked about on the All-In Summit, 1 million robots a year at a $20,000 to $25,000 price point. Do the math. What's 1 million times 25,000?
1 million times 25,000?
1 million times 25,000.
2.5 billion? 25 billion?
I think you missed a zero. I think it's 25 billion. Pull a calculator. We both did it in our head. Pretty sure you missed a zero.
I think you're right. You're definitely right.
So yeah, 25 billion. Let's say their profit margin is 50% on it. Okay, which it probably won't be. Let's just say it's 50%. So okay, cool. 13 billion in net income from it. 12.5 billion in net income from it. And then their car business really isn't doing that great. And robo-taxis, I mean, we can all disagree on it, but let's just give it a fictitious number. They're going to do 15 billion a year in robo-taxi income once it gets scaled. So robo-taxis, Optimus, combination 30 billion net income. That's what NVIDIA does in 3 months. And NVIDIA is a $4.5 trillion company. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get the numbers to work for the pay package, so I don't know.
I didn't see it. Are there tranches? Because everyone's just talking about the 1 billion for 1 trillion for 8.5 trillion by 2038. Are there other tranches that he could be awarded if he doesn't fully get there? Because that's the way it was last time.
I think doesn't he get a tranche at every metric by a certain year? Like, he doesn't have to get everything to get. Right. I think he can just get the first 4, I think.
Yeah, I didn't read it. I
didn't read too far into it, though.
It's like 8 tranches, someone said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, FSD is really exciting, but I still don't know what the TAM is for it. Like, I don't think there's many people that actually write a realistic... Like, ARK, I think, said by 2029, it's a $900 billion...
Come on, ARK said it was going to be 2026. It was going to be... what was it, 800 billion or something like that, or 1.2 trillion?
No. That was by 2029, or 900.
It was their 2026 report. Pull it up. Go to the website. Pull it up. I'm not wrong.
I mean, that would be insane for FSD.
I'm not wrong. I cited in one of my Tesla articles.
Because they always do 5-year out, so you would be talking about a 2020, like ARK's 2021 report.
You don't have to bring it up. I will find it in my freaking Tesla article.
Okay.
Because I freaking cited it. I actually think I named the freaking article after it. Oh yeah, here we go. Tesla shareholders approve Musk comp, ARK's 2600 target. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still going to buy their products, by the way. Like, I think I'm going to get the refreshed Model Y. Looks great. The Cybertruck I don't really care for. Not that I dislike the look of the vehicle. I just think that some people have associated that with a political stance. Jesse Dow, Micro to Macro, ended up posting this pretty interesting anecdotal report where he said his daughter doesn't want, and she's 11 years old, does not want him parking or dropping her off at school. He wants her to be dropped off 2 blocks away, so then she's not called a Nazi or a racist whenever she gets to school, based on her dad's vehicle.
That's horrible.
It sucks. But that's why I think like politics and business doesn't blend well.
I've always said that.
You know?
You may actually have to go to ARK's website. I thought I took a screenshot of their thing. I know I did. I just can't find it. It's their 2026 Tesla report. You can probably Google it and find it very quickly.
I have the expected value for 2026, that report, 4,600 per share. I don't know what that is on a split adjusted basis, but
No, I'm not talking about the share price. I'm talking about what they said the robotaxi revenue would be.
revenue via business line, 34% would come from, let's see here. Here, let me share my screen.
Share screen. Let me see if it's what I'm thinking of.
Is a key driver contributing 60% of expected value and more than half of expected EBITDA in 2026 across our simulation set. Yeah, but it's not
Right.
saying
So
exact number.
robotaxis were supposed to do 843 billion in revenue.
Not robotaxis. Robotaxi makes up for 34% of that, but
Okay,
still.
34%.
But still, I see what you're saying.
Like, what is that? $280 billion worth of revenue?
Next year.
Right. Tesla hasn't even broken 100 billion to all lines.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that robotaxi is going to 3x something that Tesla's doing now without it? Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there was another chart that I'm thinking of that I know that they put out that shows the bear case, I'm just going to go to their website. Hold on.
I've got another problem just with the or sorry, what was I going to say? Oh man. I don't remember now. Sorry. I was going to say something about I don't know. Anyway, Tesla, I'll buy the
Here we go. Here we go.
I'll buy the vehicle, be a very
me-
happy shareholder, or I would like to be a very happy shareholder, but I won't be until I start seeing a realistic price, because I do think robotaxi is going to be huge. I remember what I was going to say. Back whenever Tesla was doing great, they started to roll out Model 3s, Model Ys. It made up for like something like 70% of the electric vehicle share. Now I think it makes up for like 30% or 40, or sorry, 35 or 40%.
Bring up my screen.
Hold on. Let me just finish this thought. I think that it's hard for me to believe whenever people talk about robotics or robo-taxi that Tesla is going to own 100% of that market share, which is constantly what I'm hearing, that like, Tesla's going to be the only player. And then if there are other players, then they are going to be licensing from Tesla, and no one can possibly develop what they've done, even though Waymo and some of these companies or cars are on the road today, Zooks. But go ahead, Zoom.
Yeah, I've got a problem with that whole thing too. So hold on. So their bear case for 2026 was 51 billion in net revenue. Okay. Bear case. Their bull case is 486 billion in revenue. Who does these numbers? Like, I want to talk to whoever put this out. I always want to talk to somebody at ARC to understand how they come up with these numbers, because it never made sense to me.
It's Brett Winton, right? Isn't he the...
I don't know. I don't really follow ARC a lot. Even $51 billion, that's half of the revenue that they're going to do this year. So
the reason why we're talking ARC is because Elon came out and said that they have the most accurate numbers available right now.
I hope it works out, because a lot of people make money. It's pro-America for this to work out. Look, I want it to work out. Don't think I'm trying to bet against Tesla. I'm not. I want this to work out because it's good for the country. It's good for shareholders.
Yep.
It's good for the market. My problem is I can't make the numbers work when I do any sort of trying to back my way into it. I'm halfway good at doing that, and I can't see the bear case playing out next year. It's just, you're telling me that they're going to do $51 billion in an industry that they are not going to be able to have across the whole country. They'll have a handful of cities. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And to think that 486 billion, like, remember, that's 486 billion. That's bigger than the entire livery industry right now. Sorry, but that's the truth. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense. Like, people put these crazy numbers out there thinking that everybody, what's the narrative been? Nobody's going to own a car. I got news for you. I'm going to own a car. Like, I'm not taking a robo-taxi. Like, if full self-driving happens and it's legal, I'm just going to buy a Tesla and it's going to drive me around. I'm not using robo-taxi.
Yeah, I just recently heard that from Rivian. I think they just had a fireside chat, and they still said like 99.5% of miles driven are by personally owned vehicles. 99.5%.
Yeah, because when I drive down the LIE and it's bumper to bumper, it's everybody driving personally owned vehicles.
That's going to get a lot better, by the way, with robo-taxis and self-driving. Like, congestion in traffic will improve.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will.
No, it's not. You're crazy. Why? You're crazy. Because just because it's robo-taxi doesn't mean it's going to decrease the throughput. You're going to have the same throughput.
No, same throughput.
It may be more efficient, but it's not going to shave a drastic amount of time. Look, on the LIE, where I'm going, you go through the Midtown Tunnel. Robo-taxi is not going to make that any better.
The problem with most traffic concerns is humans' terrible reaction to things that they're not expecting. So, light goes green. It's the first car, then the second car after he sees the first car go, and then, so on and so forth. So everyone is adding delay to a light going green, or someone merging onto a traffic, someone's hitting their brakes, everyone along the line hits their brakes. With robo-taxis,
it may do well, but in highly trafficked highways, it's not going to make a difference.
It still will, because the most problems with congestion is on ramps and or people coming in and having people brake to let them into their thing, or emerging down from 4 lanes to 3 to 2 to 1, whatever. That's how traffic happens. It's not just everyone just going straight.
Lanes on large roads that have 3 or 4 lanes, people double parking in the city. Robotaxi is not going to do a huge amount.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying it's going to help, because whenever everyone has to go, there's going to be no delay. All cars will just go when the light goes green.
But regardless, I also don't believe that robotaxis is going to take over personal vehicles, because you and I have done the math. Even if you get down, what did you say it was supposed to get down to $1 a mile?
Yeah, some people are now saying 50 cents, but Uber is trying to aim for under $1 a mile.
All right, so can we split the difference to 75 cents?
Sure.
So if you get to 75 cents a mile, and if you drive to work every day, or you now take robotaxi every day, that's 40 trips a month. Because 20 weekdays, 2 trips a day, 40 trips. If the average person drives 20 miles to work, which in a lot of cases it's more, most people don't work in the town that they live in.
The average is 40 or 20 miles, though.
What do you think the average is?
Probably less than that.
Can we Google it so we don't?
Yeah.
You Google it and share the screen. Just Google what is the average drive to work in the U.S. Average miles away.
Well, they're putting it in about 16 miles each way, totaling nearly an hour round trip.
Okay, so we'll use 16. Okay, so 16 miles at 75 cents per mile put you at $12 each way. $12 one way. So now you times that by 40, and you're at $480. That doesn't include anything else you need a car for. Going to the grocery store, dropping kids off, any of that stuff. It's not going to be cheaper than owning a car, even after you figure insurance and electric. And that's just one person. I mean, all I'm saying is it's great for people that don't drive to and from work every day, and they truly only need a car for certain things. Yes, this will be great, but I'm not seeing that robotaxi is going to make people not buy cars. I've never subscribed to that. The math doesn't work. So
a lot of people are asking about Salesforce. and have been asking since we've been live.
Very undervalued.
Sorry?
It's great. It's very undervalued. It's crazy. The company's down 2% over the past 5 years. It's been a horrible investment compared to just investing in an index fund. Yet their freaking top line revenue has grown by $18 billion over the past 5 years. I think it's up like 60 or 70%. It's insane.
What's your current expectation for BMNR and Ethereum?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how to determine. I think you need a year for Ethereum to play out.
So you're not buying it with any. See, that's the thing. Everyone wants me to do like a deep dive on BMNR. I'm like, there's nothing to deep dive.
I don't know how to get it. It's not a company. I can't say, well, it's making up $5 billion in free cash flow, and based on just what the average in the sector is, or what a decent average of the companies I look at is, that should be X amount of market cap. There's no way to figure this out.
What are your thoughts on Micron?
I've been saying Micron's undervalued for God knows how long.
So is that something that you're actively buying, or you
I
have
don't
your
own
position?
it. I don't own it. I wish I could own it. I guess I could own it. I wouldn't be able to buy what I want to buy it. But look, there's a lot of companies I like. Micron is a company that I like. I was very early saying that the amount of DRAM in these server rooms is going to be much more. People are sleeping on Micron. I took it in our stock draft. Like, I'm on Micron.
So you're just buying hype? It's not about buying hype. They're acquiring Ethereum. Ethereum is being used more and more every day. And so the hope is that the more that Ethereum gets used, the better the stock price will be. More people will be holders, more gas fees will end up, burning more Ethereum. And then BMNR hopefully can acquire more and more of that and be a huge, hopefully 5% stakeholder in Ethereum. And that's sort of the play. But there's not much of a fundamental business that's underlying it. I mean, there's staking, but it's a very, very small part. It mainly is price to book right now, and judging it just based on the assets that they actually have, which is Ethereum, a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of WorldCoin treasuries. What else? Yeah,
tokenization of assets.
No, I'm talking about their holdings, but yeah, that's what Ethereum will get into for sure.
It's very hard to come up with a price. I don't know. But once again,
Google?
Bitcoin has no utility yet. It's got 2.5 trillion market cap. So, look, I believe Ethereum is more valuable than Bitcoin. So I do believe Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin on a market cap basis. So we'll see.
I mean, the greater sum of technology companies is greater than the sum of gold, I guess. But in Ethereum, I would consider more of a technology play. That's for sure. Thoughts on Google?
Undervalued.
What is valued?
292.
I love a specific answer.
Well, it's because I looked at what my fair market value was a couple of hours ago.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And that's based on the last 12-month earnings, or what you're expecting?
If Apple's going to trade the multiple it trades at, I think Alphabet should trade the same multiple.
Okay. All right.
Because it's got very similar growth, very similar profitability, and I also think that Alphabet could steal customers such as myself in a year or two. And I love an iPhone. I've been using it for probably 14 years now, 13 years. And I will say that if Alphabet's AI assistant can make my life easier in the next generation, I would really consider switching. As much as I don't like the interface, as much as I just don't like the platform, I think that Apple is so far behind, I would be worried.
Everyone that goes to Amit's channel, make sure you clip that, you send that to him.
I say it to him all the time. It's nothing new.
He's saying no one is going to flip from Apple.
I told him that I was going to. If Apple's assistant is not good, and look, this is what it would take for me to switch. If one phone has the ability and the other phone does not, for you to talk into it and say, I need to go to LA I need to fly out tomorrow. I want to fly out from JFK or Newark or LaGuardia, wherever it is, and I need to go into LAX. I want to leave at this time. I want you to book me a hotel room. I want XYZ. And if it can do all that and it already has your credit card and your phone, you tell it you don't want to spend more than X for the whole thing, and it takes care of everything, and it's stuff that I don't have to do, and I can trust it to actually give me the stuff that I want. Think about what your time is worth with not having to do that. You can sit there and scroll Instagram if you want to, or watch TV. It's more about giving me time back because I don't have a lot of time. So I would love to have something that can allow me to do mundane tasks I don't want to do.
A bunch of people in chat are saying that stick to stocks. Crypto knowledge here is pretty low. You're dumb comment. Okay.
Go read my Ethereum article, and then tell me my crypto knowledge is low.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about? Solana, Avalanche, Chainlink, XRP? What we want to talk about? I've researched them all. HR, like, come on.
ETH is low tech. 14 TPS is high tech. No, but you're excluding all the L2s that also go and actually advantage Ethereum. So
no, I said XRP, guys. But yeah, I mean, think about it. Whoever's saying that obviously didn't hear the beginning of the conversation when we discussed all the different companies that built their stable coins on L2 and the reasoning of getting into this because of the Genius Act and where we see stable coin adoption going and how it's going to turn ETH into a deflationary asset. So probably should do some research.
I've seen, by the way, whenever I was at the Hood Summit, we met with a few developers who were building these crypto companies. They were all building their businesses on Base, which is an L2 of Ethereum. Have a look at Stripe. So Terry's talking about Tempo. But here's the thing, Terry. No one wants to use Tempo because it's owned by a single individual business. So why would they end up going with Tempo whenever they can work with Base and then, you actually have a decentralized platform rather than one individual payments company owning the entire landscape? There's not a single crypto person that's supporting it. So I have been reading about Tempo.
This from Carl S. Joseph Carlson. It's not Joseph Carlson, it's Sir Joseph Carlson. Everybody must refer to him as Sir Joseph Carlson from here on out because he thinks he's better than everybody. Especially thinks he's better than me.
I'm not taking any part in...
I didn't ask you to. He's Sir Joseph Carlson. I must refer to him as Sir because he's better than me.
Yeah, big fan of Ethereum, though. That's it. That's all it is. I'm a big fan of Joseph Carlson's and a fan of yours. And yeah.
I don't know. Sir Joseph Carlson didn't want to have a conversation. I can tell you that much.
All right. Okay. So what are you going to do whenever SOFI gets to over $40? You going to sell, buy more?
I don't know. It's a good problem to have, right?
Are you going to call it a bank even whenever it gets past 30?
I mean, it is a bank, so...
Has a bank, yeah.
No, it is a bank, but... No, let's just say it gets to 40. I would probably write weekly cover calls at like 41 or 42 until it gets called away.
Yeah, I'm a happy shareholder, man. The only thing that's been I've been thinking about in my head is how fast
they can go to 100 and do what Robinhood did. That's the question.
Well, their market cap at 100 versus Robinhood's market cap at 100 is two different things. So, do I think that they can also do very well? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not disputing can they do very well. Do they go to 100?
Depends on the timeline. Depends on how fast. Like, if they have a big book of loans,
I don't. Years.
I don't think they get to 100 if they have a big book of loans. If they are writing everything through the loan platform business and they're a completely capital light business, and the rate environment stays in their favor and they are acquiring so many new users, yeah, I think that that's a possibility. but they cannot take on any more loans, and that's not going to happen. They will continue to build out their loan book, but that's going to stop them from seeing as high of a multiple because they'll be a capital intensive business versus a capital light business. And that doesn't deserve as high of a premium, especially whenever that capital is not just intensive, but it actually has a chance to lose your revenue.
Now, I'll tell you, I think Meta is going over 1,000 next year. I really do. Said it before. I mean, there's just companies that I'd rather be in. Not that it, I'm not saying I would get out of SoFi because I own SoFi and I own Meta. I own more Meta than SoFi. But I'm just saying, like, at this point, I think Meta's going higher. I think Amazon's going higher. I think Alphabet and NVIDIA are going higher. It's like, I don't even know that you need to take really big swings anymore. I'm not doing the deals that I did. You think about the market a year ago, year and a half ago. There were a lot of companies that a lot of us felt were really undervalued, that we all turned out to be right. Whether it was Matt with Rocket Lab, you with SoFi, another one with Amit with Hood, no matter what it was, there was a lot of things that went up. I'm not seeing the clear cut screaming investments that are undervalued significantly the way that they were. And that just makes me think that it's just more of a reason why I want to be in the bigger names right now.
The bigger names are a crazy place to be right now. I think it avoids so much of the worry that they're going to get stomped out because they're already the big incumbent names, but they're also moving so freaking fast.
Got news for everybody. Amazon's not getting stomped out, nor is Microsoft, nor is Alphabet, nor is Meta. Nobody can spend the type of money that they're spending. So if AI and cloud is real, which by all intents and purposes they are, nobody's going to be able to compete against them because nobody's going to be able to build out the way that they're building out or train the way that they're training. Nobody can compete. Like, it's already game over.
Hey, Grid Life, I hold more Solana than I do Ethereum in terms of the actual coin, but no one is choosing it on an institutional level. All the big companies, all the big payment companies are all building on Ethereum. So,
yeah, and I hate to blow up people's thing because I think Solana is a great technology. Doesn't have the type of deals Ripple's got with the sovereign banks. Just doesn't. More likely, the Swift network, if it doesn't become a straight competitor, more likely they're going to partner with Ripple than they're going to partner with Solana. So, I don't know.
all the Mag 7 are into robotics. Well, I think the Mag 7 will be into robotics. That's, I think, the thing that
Microsoft really into robotics.
I think they will be. I think Google definitely is with Apptronic.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
Alphabet and Amazon definitely are.
Apple's been rumored.
Meta's not. I mean, they're going to be in wearable AI.
I mean, they just bought a robotics chip from NVIDIA. They were one of the early buyers, so they're exploring.
Chip, but I don't know.
Maybe they're just doing research right now. But I'm just saying that I don't think they're scratching it off. Like, these companies have more money than they know what to do with, and they know that robotics is going to be the next big thing.
Amazon's going to be gigantic, and that's another thing. What happens to Tesla's valuation with Optimus if Amazon comes out with their own robot?
Mm-hmm. Or Apple.
Or Apple, but I think it's more likely that Amazon would.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. I think
only because Amazon's going to have the smart factories, and they'll probably have their own proprietary stuff doing tests inside their warehouses, and they can extrapolate that and build upon that for commercial use. So,
okay, are we wrapping there?
Yeah, we can if you want.
Anything else to add from the great Stephen Fiorillo?
No, just NVIDIA, I think is going to do really well. Article came out on Friday. I think it's worth a read, and I got a Salesforce article coming out tomorrow. So think people really like. I think Salesforce is the undervalued AI play that everybody is sleeping on. I really do. I don't think people are giving enough credit. And I think what they showcase at Dreamforce is going to be big. I really do.
What's the yogurt of the week?
I just had a peach drinkable right before I came on. So
It's by far funny that you answered that with zero hesitation. Like
oh,
yogurt of the week.
it's right here. I legitimately just had it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. Make sure you subscribe. But bye for now.